blown her nose 50,000 times. Welcome back to Life in Progress. I'm Carly.
I'm Ilana.
And we are so excited for this episode today because it was highly requested.
Yep.
We are going to be talking about people pleasing. But before we talk about that, what was in progress this week?
I just want to kind of go into it and say, like, learning how to not people please.
Okay.
I'm
down.
I think it's like a constant thing that we both experience and try. We try to be better about it, but it's really hard.
It's really
so it's
hard.
like it's always in progress, like saying no, putting up boundaries, learning how to not people please.
Yeah.
That's what's in progress for me right now.
Okay, I'm going to go with that too.
And I'm excited for this episode because I feel like talking about it for a while, that might like reset us on a journey of not people pleasing.
Yeah, because I feel like you could really try for like a week and be like, yeah, I'm going to be strong this week. I'm going to do things for myself. And then another week, it's like, what can I do to make everybody else happy?
Exactly. So the first step is admitting you have a problem. Hi. My
Hi.
name is Ilana Dunn, and I am a professional people pleaser.
Yes, I am an expert at it. I could talk about this for ages. It is, it's a good and a bad thing. And I say that because people pleasing comes with good intentions. And I think if you are a people pleaser, it means you want others to be happy. Right?
I sleep better at night knowing I've made everybody else happy, even if I myself am not happy.
Which is most of the time.
Yeah. Like, I want people to think about Ilana and think positive things. I want to feel like I left a positive mark on everyone. I think my biggest fear, and this is probably where a lot of it stems from, is thinking that people are thinking poorly of me.
Yeah. My biggest thing is thinking people are mad at me.
Yeah.
And that's where I overcompensate and people please the utmost because and it gets me in trouble.
Always.
Because I'm constantly, and I've talked about this in our friendship episode a little while back. If you haven't listened to that, make sure you listen. But episode 2, I'm constantly with friends overcompensating and making sure that no one's mad at me, making sure everyone's happy, making sure I'm going above and beyond. And then that almost like pushes people away and then they start taking advantage of you. And I think that's where it's really gotten me in trouble in the past and now.
And I think the root of the problem for people pleasers is, yes, like if our goal is to make sure everyone else is happy and everyone else feels good, like we're people pleasing to do that. We're kind of compromising on what works for us to do that. And at the end of the day, like they feel good, but we might not.
Yeah.
And it ends up becoming a cycle because
it's a vicious cycle.
We don't want them to know that we don't feel good because that would defeat the purpose of trying to please them.
Yeah.
And so if they check in, like, are you okay? Like, you seem off. Like, oh no, I'm so glad. Like, everything is great. Because again, we want to please them.
Yeah. 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 It's people pleasing is a tough one. And I think so many people have the tendency to do it. My mom, for example, is the worst people pleaser, and that's where I get it from, but I've ever met. I'll hear her on the phone with her friends, and the things she will do just to make someone else happy, even though it really is not something she wants to do. It hurts me.
Is she aware of it?
I think she knows, but I don't think...
She doesn't. She does now.
Mom, you are a people pleaser, and thank you because that's where I got it from. Yeah, I don't know. It's crazy because I see it from an outside view and I look at her and I'm just like, why are you doing that? Yet I would do the same exact thing.
Yeah.
I would do the same exact thing. Yeah. I was going to give an example, but I'm afraid they're going to listen to it because she tells all her friends to listen.
Yeah. I mean, look, listen, it can be as simple as like you having a really busy day and like scheduling a coffee with somebody and them telling you they have nothing to do today, but then saying like, where should we do it? And you saying like, oh, I'll come to you.
Yeah.
Instead of being like, oh, I have a super busy day. Do you mind meeting me halfway or coming up to me? It's like, no, I don't want to dare inconvenience somebody and make them think, oh, Ilana made me go all the way to the Upper East Side because she was lazy and didn't want to get off her ass. I'm too afraid to say like, I have a crazy day. I'm down to grab coffee. Do you mind coming up by me? Because I feel like that's asking for too much.
I think, yeah, totally. And I think another thing that I think about is when someone, for example, like, going to dinner.
Yeah.
Okay. For example, like I will never pick the place because I want to make sure that they want to go where they want to go and I will do that. And I guess my fear is like, well, if I suggest a different place, maybe they'll be like, no, it's fine. Like, let's just cancel. Or like, let's just not go. I don't know. Does that sound crazy?
That does sound crazy.
I know.
That actually sounds crazy to me.
Yeah, that's sad. Huh.
Because
I don't know if I do it as much anymore, but like definitely like in college and after college too, I feel like I would almost suggest a place I know that they would want to go to so that...
Right.
And it...
Well, how about, okay, in this situation, a compromise could be suggesting 2 or 3 places.
Mm-hmm.
And saying, or do you have anything else? Like, is there anything you're craving? Like, that's my go-to.
Yeah.
And I said this in a group chat yesterday that we were planning something with someone else. I'm like, is there anywhere you've been wanting to go?
Mm-hmm.
Because part of it is I'm really indecisive.
Yeah.
So for me, that shows like, oh, I'm like thinking of them and being thoughtful to them, but also that helps me not have to make this decision.
Yeah. And then I think a lot of it also for me, and I know it sounds crazy. I really need to keep seeing my therapist, but it sounds crazy when I say it out loud. But I'm like, oh, well, they'll like me more if I,
pick a place that they like.
Yes. They'll like me more. They'll want to hang out with me more. And it's really sad to think about that. And I think I have a lot of deep-rooted issues.
Don't we all?
Don't we all?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's something also that is sad about people pleasing, because you're just constantly going above and beyond. And then what happens is you don't get that back and you feel even worse.
Yeah. Or you can't show up in the way you would like because, in my coffee example, because I've now like quadruple booked myself. I'm so stressed. I'm rushing somewhere. I'm going to show up late. I'm going to feel like I have to leave early, staring at the clock the whole time. I can't actually show up the way I would want because I didn't say, hey, I have a busy day. Can you come up by me?
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. And just to go back on what I was saying, because this thought just came to me, but the amount of disappointment I've had in my life because of me expecting someone to do something for me as I would do for them has caused me so much pain. Like talking about birthdays, for example, I will go to the ends of the earth to make sure someone feels so special and has the best birthday. And then my birthday will come around and those friends or those people will not do the same. And I'm like, oh, so I'm not good enough. They don't like me as much. But they're just not that kind of person.
Yeah. You know what's funny? When you got your eye surgery,
Yeah.
Carly got her eye surgery sometime last year, and this was the beginning of some like rocky stuff with your friendships that we talked about before. And Carly was like venting to me about like her friends kind of like not showing up, and so I was like, oh, well, like I really want Carly to like me. So I asked my mom to like go buy flowers and drop them off at Carly's house.
Which is the nicest thing ever.
Part of it was like genuine nice. I wanted you to feel special and supported, but part of it was like, oh, I want to make Carly happy and I want her to like me.
Yep. No,
and it worked.
It worked.
Here we are.
It worked because you know what? That's what I would have done.
Yeah.
I would have gone. I would have found a way to get flowers to your house. And yeah, like it's crazy.
And maybe that's not people. That's just like
that's just
us being weird.
That isn't us,
Yeah.
No, it is a sense of people pleasing because it's you wanting to go above and beyond for an extra reason, like
almost to make myself sleep better at night.
Yeah. 100%.
And I think the biggest problem with it is like there's no end. Like there's no point where someone is just pleased.
No.
And you're like, okay, that's it. They're good. Like they're happy now. I did my job. Like now it's time to prioritize me, like, and please me. No, there's never an end. There's always the next hangout, the next situation. And I think a huge area where we run into issues people pleasing is in the workplace.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my God. Any job I've had, actually, I would always make sure if someone slacked me, I would answer that second. And I would make sure that nothing was wrong and we were all good and kind of go. And I'd be the one to be like, oh, I'll go get coffee for people when I was like their boss.
Right.
Yeah, let me go grab coffee for everybody. And what can I do to make everyone else feel happy today?
I feel like we have such a fear of being disliked.
Yeah.
And that's what it comes from.
Maybe
that's what it stems from.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I see other people in the workplace with friendships, like they're so blunt, they're so straightforward. They don't beat around the bush to spare anyone's feelings. Like they just they do what they need to do. They say what they need to say to articulate it and to get the point across. And that's it. They're not thinking twice about it. They're not thinking about, oh, well, what if this impacts the way that person views me? Like, no, it got shit to do. Get it done. Live your life. But we are not like that at all. We think about the consequences of every single action and specifically how people will view us because of it.
Mm-hmm. There was something you texted me. I think it was the other day.
I know what you're going to say. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. What was it? You texted me.
Okay, so Carly and I meet every morning. I think we established that. We have a meeting every morning for like 2 hours. And I asked her if she was planning on meeting the next morning because I knew she had like family over or whatever. And she was like, I can, or like, don't have to, like, whatever you want.
Yeah, I think I just said like, whatever you want to do, I will fit
And I was
in,
like, okay, like I'm trying to schedule a Rumble class because like my friend who's an instructor is like subbing near me and I want to do it, but it's during our meeting. And you're like, no, like do Rumble, do whatever you want. I don't care.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, is this our first fight? Like this was over text. So I didn't know. I'm like, is she just being like, do whatever you want? I don't care. Like, you don't like our meeting is not your priority. It's fine.
Yeah.
And I was so afraid of that. So I was very upfront and I was like,
which I love.
I was like, wait, is this you like passive aggressive saying like, do whatever you want, I don't care? Or is this you genuinely saying like, it doesn't matter, you're flexible?
Yeah, like, do what you want, which it was. It was literally me saying like, go without your day, like fit me in, like we'll figure it out. Like there's no pressure. And I've never been so happy for someone to text me like, hey, by the way, like, is that passive or is that actually like go do what you want? Because the amount of times like I've gotten that text on the other end and have not known. And then would be like, oh, this person hates me. This person's mad at me. Now I need to overcompensate and I'm going to people please and I'm going to make sure I do whatever I can to fit into their schedule.
Right. Like that's what I was afraid of. I was like, oh my God, like, is Carly mad at me right now? Is she upset that like I'm not making our meeting time work because I was like sick earlier this week and like couldn't meet, but I know like she's busy too. I just don't know. And I was like, this is stupid. She wouldn't want me to be spiraling. Nope. Like, there's probably no reason for this.
Nope, not at all.
Like, so I do think a lot of people pleasing, along with everything else we talk about, like it goes back to communication.
And
self-worth and boundaries.
Boundaries. We
have to do like a whole series of episodes
what
on
are boundaries?
So yeah, let's talk a little bit about how we can
start making boundaries,
start setting boundaries, put things in place to stop people pleasing. Like, because yes, we can laugh about it and like
but
commiserate
it's a real
about
thing.
It's a real thing. And at the end of the day, like if we don't feel good, if we're not showing up as our best selves, if we're not feeling like we're being treated equally in our friendships and our romantic relationships and whatever, don't worry, Jake and Jason, that's not what we're saying. But it's really important, I think, for our own self-worth and mental health that we figure out how to people please a little less, or at least be able to recognize when we're doing it and make that conscious decision of like, okay, it's fine.
Yeah. I think being secure, and I think the one thing that I'm trying to work on is being secure with who I am and knowing that the people around me and the people in my life for whatever reason are there for a reason.
Yeah.
And not there because I am doing XYZ or because
you're going out of your way for them.
Yeah. So I'm trying to tell myself, if someone asks me to do something or asks a favor or whatever it is, I'm trying to think like, okay, one, is this making me happy?
Yeah.
Or is this something I am doing because I know it will make them happy? And sometimes I still will do that because that's just who we are. Yeah, it's who we are as people. But I don't want something to ever compromise my happiness, and that's something I'm trying to really work on.
I think that's the key. I think that's the key is in any situation, if it feels like, okay, maybe this doesn't feel right to me, or yeah, I can do this, but then that's going to impact my day or my success, or I'm going to feel less than because of it, really stop and say like, okay, am I compromising something that's important to me?
Yeah.
Am I treating myself in a way where I don't deserve to be treated? Because yes, sometimes other people treat us in a way we don't deserve, but we also do it to ourselves, and that's not fair.
Yeah.
So if you're going out of your way to make your friend so happy, make some family member so happy, whoever it is, you have to remember like the most important person in your life is yourself.
Yeah.
And nobody else is going to look out for you. No matter how many people-pleasing best friends you have, nobody else is going to look out for you
like yourself.
The way that you can look out for yourself.
And I think another big thing is stop having expectations for other people.
Yeah.
Because that's what really gets me is I know I'm a people pleaser. I know I will go out of my way to do anything for anyone. A lot of people won't, and that's okay. Good for them that they won't. But I need to stop expecting people to do what I would do because I get disappointed every single time.
Yeah, you have to recognize people are going to disappoint you, but they're only disappointing you because of where your expectations are at.
Yeah.
And so I think it's really important to accept your friends for who they are.
Yeah.
Accept the people in your life, like know where they're at and be able to say, okay, that's them. I don't expect them to show up for me
the way I show up
in this way, or to go above and beyond for my birthday, or to show up at my doorstep with, you know, cookies on a day where I'm feeling down, whatever it is. Even though that's what I would do for them if the roles were reversed, that's not who they are. That's not in their nature, and that's okay.
And we shouldn't blame them for it.
No. Everyone's different. Everyone, you know, supports their friends in different ways or has different headspace to do so at a certain moment. So really just recognizing like, this is who this person is, and that's okay. They're in my life for a reason. I do want their friendship for whatever reasons I want their friendship, but I can't be mad at them for doing something that they were never going to do.
Yeah. I think the biggest thing is like, don't people please with the expectation that you're getting it back.
Yes.
Do something because it genuinely makes you happy with no expectations. Like nothing will result in you doing this. Do it because you want to, not because you feel like they want you to.
Yes. And if it actually makes you happy, like if it genuinely pleases you to help other people, and I know there are people in that boat who feel that way, great, do it. By all means, don't hold yourself back from doing that, but don't do it because, oh, if I bring her flowers on my birthday, she's going to bring me flowers on my birthday.
Yes.
You know, like there are people who I bought engagement gifts for them and they did not buy one for me in return. And at first I was like, that's kind of weird and like a little disappointed. But then I'm like, okay, well, I didn't buy one for them expecting like, oh, well, I'm buying one for them so that they will buy me a gift in return. No, I wanted to celebrate them.
A situation I had in January, and, you know, I talked about a little bit about my friendship breakup on episode 2, go watch it, is while I was having a little bit of a rocky situation with one of my friends, it was her birthday. And I debated, I was on the phone with my life coach for hours of, you know, usually I would go above and beyond for birthdays, especially for this friend. And I'm like, if it were any normal day, I would go and bring balloons and coffee and to her apartment. And I kept debating, you know, am I doing this because I genuinely want to, or am I doing this because I want them to, you know,
like me more now, be less mad at me, feel better about our friendship, like put a Band-Aid on it.
I contemplated it for hours. And my therapist, my life coach really was like, what are you doing it for?
Yeah.
Is it going to make you happy to go bring her balloons and coffee and flowers and presents and whatever? Or are you just doing it to, you know, make her happy? That's it.
Yeah.
I didn't go. I didn't do it.
Yeah. Good. I'm proud of you.
Yeah. Thank you. Because I was doing it not for me.
PPA, People Pleasers Anonymous, is very proud of People Pleaser Carly. Wow. We really need to start that group.
Really need to start that group. Yeah. So I think a lot of it is ask yourself, why am I doing this? And is it because in your heart you feel so passionate about doing XYZ, or is it because you just want this person to like you, or you want them to be like, oh my God, she's great, or
like that was so nice of this person, like post it on Instagram, show people like everything's great.
What's the reason?
Yeah. I'm glad I brought up that thought, brought up a situation for me in my past that I was going through a really rough time with a friend, and we like really hadn't spoken like months and hadn't seen each other in months. And she invited me to her birthday. And I didn't know what to do with that.
Yeah.
I was like, we haven't spoken. Like, we're in a clear, like, fight or, like, riff. I would feel so, like, why does she even want me at her birthday?
Yeah.
I would feel weird going to her birthday, but, like, should I go to her birthday? Because clearly, like, is she inviting me because she wants me there? Right. Is she inviting me because she feels like she has to? Like, is she extending an olive branch? Like, I didn't know what to do with it. And part of me felt like, okay, I guess I should go to make her happy, and maybe this could like fix any harm that I've done. But I ultimately decided, like, I don't feel comfortable going. I don't feel good about this.
Yeah.
It feels really weird and wrong, and I don't want to go. So I didn't go.
I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
PPA is proud of you.
Woo! PPA.
Wow.
PPA.
Okay. That was a good one. Also, extending an olive branch, is that a saying?
Yeah, like an olive branch, like that's totally a saying. Like,
why is it an olive branch? Why isn't it just a branch?
Why is an olive branch an olive branch? Let's ask Google. Why do you
extend? Aren't you guys curious? Like, why an
olive branch? Ever wonder where the phrase extending the olive branch means? It's an offer of peace and extends back to biblical times, the ancient Romans and Greek mythology. A dove brought an olive branch back to Noah to signal that the flood had ended. In ancient Rome, the defeated used to hold up an olive branch for peace.
Okay, thanks.
Everybody here learned something today.
We all learned something new today.
You never know what you're going to learn on Life in Progress.
I need to know if you guys knew that. I need your honest answers. We're going to do a poll about this. Do you know why it's called extending an olive branch?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. And have you ever extended one?
And have you ever?
And was it to people please, or was it because you genuinely wanted to? So many questions.
So many questions. I am curious of, if you guys have any situations that you're going through that you can't tell if you're people pleasing or if it's just for yourself. Like, write them in. I'd love to hear them. And
yeah, let's talk about them.
I want to talk about them.
I also want to kind of bring up, the idea of saying no.
Yeah.
And I think it's
What's that
really
like?
important to talk about it, just to kind of bring it back into people's heads of like, hey, saying no is an option. If you don't want to do something, if you don't have the time, if you don't have the energy, if you don't have the mental space. Carly and I actually had a conversation on another podcast with Carly and Mia from Mostly Balance about, sometimes when a friend wants to vent to you or comes to you for advice, or maybe a friend has a lot going on, like you're their person that they constantly go to all the time to talk about things. There are some times where you want to be there for your friend, but you don't have it in your own heart and space and just emotional well-being to take on anyone else's shit in that moment.
Yeah.
And we often do it because we want to, not let our friend down and support them. But I think it's really important to recognize if you don't have the mental space to take on someone else's shit in that moment, that's okay.
Yeah.
You just have to articulate that. Because also, if you take on someone's stuff when you don't have the capacity to, you're not going to be able to give them helpful advice or even support them in the right way. And so I think it's really important to, in any situation, whether it's that specific situation where a friend's venting to you or asking you for something, or it's, going out of your way for somebody else, or someone asking you to do something that you really don't have the time, the energy, the desire to do, you are allowed to say no.
Yeah. Question.
Answer.
Do you think, and I don't know if this is wrong of me to say, but this is what I've noticed, that guys don't have this issue?
Not at all.
Because every guy I've dated, every guy I've encountered, my dad, my brother, they don't have an issue saying no.
Yeah.
They don't give two shits if they say no.
And anytime Jake hears about anything going on with my friends, or me feeling so drained, but doing something, signing up for something, even though I really don't want to, or being so afraid to cancel,
so why are you doing
cancel a plan, or back out of a dinner or something, he's like, you got girls are so weird.
Yeah, Jason's who cares?
Yeah, nobody's thinking about it as much as you are. Nobody cares, but I think we've all seen situations where people do care. Yeah. And people do hold grudges. And that's why we become people pleasers, because we don't want to disappoint people.
If you're a guy and you're listening to this, which
help!
Do you people please? Do you find yourself people pleasing and having a hard time saying no? Because
no, I mean, at this point, they probably turned off this episode because none of it relates to that.
I would love to know if any guys stuck this out.
And if any former people pleasers are listening, please help us.
Yeah, let us know. Let us know some things that we could share with everybody else that helps, because we're still working on it. Again, it's a work in progress.
It's a work in progress. People pleasing, or lack of people pleasing in progress. Let's just recap some takeaways and then get into some would you rathers.
Perfect.
Great. And maybe we'll have another people pleasing episode with more actionable tips and tricks.
I know. I feel bad. I feel like we didn't.
We vented a lot on this one.
We vented a lot. We didn't give much.
But you know what? Maybe we validated other people pleasers and how they feel.
Yeah, I agree.
And maybe we all come out better for this, for talking about it. For maybe we go to our other friends and express hey, if you ever feel like I'm people pleasing, I don't want to be doing that with you, because I love you and I care about our friendship, and I want us all to feel good. So let's hold each other accountable. Yeah. Let's all just come out of this episode starting the conversations with our friends, admitting First step, acceptance.
Accept
that you're a people pleaser.
Being self-aware.
And have these conversations.
Yeah.
You know, you don't also want your friends going out of their way and people pleasing at their own expense to you.
Right.
So again, the more you have those conversations and can get to that point where, you know, I texted Carly last week, are you being passive aggressive and mad at me? Like that just strengthens your friendship and your bond.
All comes back to communication.
Yeah.
Just be open.
Communicate, be open, check in with yourself. Does this feel right? Is this something I genuinely want to do, or am I doing it to make them happy? Say no. Don't be afraid to say no. Don't be afraid to say, I'd love to help you, or I'd love to do this, but I really don't have the capacity to right now. Let's check in tomorrow or next week, or can I call you in 2 days?
Yeah. And try to remember that just because you're a people pleaser and you want to go above and beyond for everyone doesn't mean other people are like that. So try not to take it so personally when someone isn't going out of their way for you as you would for them.
Yeah. Accept your friends where they're at.
Yep.
All right. Would you rather be shot into space or explore the deepest depths of the sea?
Oh my God. I actually talked about this morning. You're going to pay me to go down to sea.
No, I'd so much rather go to space.
Send me to space.
Bye.
I'm not going in that ocean.
Yeah, absolutely not. I'm so terrified of the ocean.
So
even
scared.
Going to even the beach, even lakes. Like I went to camp, I swam in the lake. I like did the long swim once or twice a summer. But like
what's in there?
They irk me. I don't like not being able to see what's under me. I don't like not knowing.
Nope. And things are touching you and you don't know what it is.
I really, really don't like lakes, oceans.
No.
Other bodies of
never
water.
Send Ilana and I to bodies of water besides a pool that we could see the ground.
Yeah, I'm a big pool girl.
Love a pool.
We had this conversation
We did.
a few weeks ago.
Yeah, love a pool.
At the beach. Yeah, big pool girl. Okay. Would you rather be trapped on a desert island with someone who never speaks or with someone who never shuts up?
Never shuts up.
1,000,000%. I can't believe you had to think about it that long.
I know. I'd be so bored.
I would not want to feel like so alone and isolated. If there's anybody else there, like I want to be able to talk to them about it. Yeah, if someone never shuts up, like that's annoying, but I can like be like, okay, I need my me time now. I'm going to go over there.
Yeah, and take a walk.
Like we're in this together. We need to like communicate and speak to work our way out of it, or to like figure out how we're gonna establish a life here. You need to tell me what I need to do.
Yeah.
I need to tell you what you. Oh my God, the logistics of someone who doesn't speak. I just don't see how that works.
No.
Okay. Would you rather have an arranged marriage or spend the rest of your life single?
Oh my God, single meaning like you don't date other people?
I guess so.
Arranged marriage.
You can date but never find your person.
Oh. Well, that changes things. Because it's like, can you get divorced from this arranged marriage?
I don't think so. We're talking about the rest of your life.
I think.
This is hard, actually.
Oh my God.
At first, I thought I knew my answer immediately, but this is really hard.
What was your immediate answer?
Arranged marriage. I don't want to be alone, but I don't want to be with the wrong person either. I'd rather be alone than with the wrong person.
I think so too. I was gonna say like human connection is amazing, and I would love to. I feel like I would want to be with someone, but if it's someone that you really feel absolutely no connection with, like I'll find that elsewhere. Even if it's not a guy, I'll find that with family. I'll find that with friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I'll be single.
Wow.
Have my own kids.
Plot twist.
Yeah, wow.
But what if the arranged marriage works out?
Yeah, but that's a really big risk.
It's a risk.
Because what if you can never get divorced?
Yeah.
I guess you can cheat, but I don't really condone that.
No. I don't want that.
Yeah, me either.
No. Oh my God, she was so quick. That is the opposite of people pleasing, so I guess I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
But no.
Yeah, no.
No.
Okay.
Well,
all right.
That's it, guys.
That's it.
That's
wow.
all we have, folks.
If you guys have anything else in the people-pleasing realm that you want to talk about, we are here for it. Again, send us some tips on what to do and
help.
We're not experts,
you.
so we're just like you guys.
Good
Ilana,
stretch, Berkeley. Berkeley just did a good big stretch.
Good job. Where can everybody find us?
I want you to tell them.
No, not yet. Okay, you can find us on Instagram and on TikTok at It's Life in Progress. So It's Life in Progress at It's Life in Progress. I'm gonna say it one more time. At It's Life in Progress. And then you can follow us on Apple or Spotify. Did I miss anything?
Leave a 5-star rating on Spotify if you haven't yet. Leave a 5-star rating and a lovely, wonderful review on Apple. It takes 5 seconds and
really
it means
helps
a lot.
us.
It helps us so much. Please send this episode to a people pleaser in your life.
Yeah, and email us with any questions, comments, concerns at carlyandilana@gmail.com.
Bye.
Bye. See you next hump day.